Hello again, crafting friends. Today, we're featuring the story of Naaman, a man with leprosy who was healed by doing something that sounded rather strange. But because he trusted God and believed that his word would be true, he was able to have a miracle happen. And sometimes God will ask us to do things that sound a little strange, but when we follow him, miracles can happen as well. Anyway, this is a really fun story to teach, to act out, and to craft as well. So we have a couple of crafts, and actually I'm going to show you a couple of variations on each one that will share the story of Naaman. Now, if you're not familiar, it's a story of, in short form, how the prophet Elisha told this man Naaman that in order to cure his leprosy, he needed to go and bathe himself in the Jordan River 7 times. Well, at first he sort of balked, thinking that's a very strange command, but he decided to go for it, and he was healed. Find out more about that in our children's message. Anyway, we're going to start off with a couple of ways that you can make a Naaman's transformation kind of a puppet. So we're going to start, I'm going to show you a variation of this puppet that uses a paper plate. You could also do this just as easily with a paper bag, decorating one side of the paper bag one way and the other other way. But we're going to look at it with the paper plate. So we're going to decorate a leprosy sad Naaman on one side and a happy, free from leprosy Naaman on the other side. Now, if you like, you're more than welcome to use Google eyes. I'm going to just draw on the eyes right now. It's totally up to you. So this is going to be, he's kind of looking down. He's a little bit sad. His eyebrows are kind of sadly shaped in there. I don't know why his eyebrows are blue. I've never known anyone with blue eyebrows, but oh well. And on this side, we're going to give this sad leprosy-ridden Naaman some spots. So there's a couple of ways that you can do this. I'm also going to give this a little caption to explain what this is all about. We'll give him some hair. Maybe we'll even give him a little beard, because, I mean, a lot of guys had beards back then. You know, why not? There's his beard. Here's his hair. And we'll caption this something to the tune of Naaman had leprosy. That's what's going on there. Now, like I mentioned, there's a couple ways you can do spots. You can, of course, just draw on some dots. And, of course, leprosy, a lot of times they say it made you white as snow, or that you would have burns or marks or all sorts of nasty stuff. But just for the sake of visual fun, we're going to give Naaman some red spots. Red spots are not always a hallmark of leprosy, but today Naaman has red spots. I guess you could do glitter, but that gets crazy. Who wants to deal with glitter? So we're going to give him some, it doesn't have to be perfect circles here. We're going to just give him some red spots. And we're going to, again, you could just draw these as well, but hey, sometimes you need a time filler in crafting land, and having kids cut out red spots is a great time filler. So we're going to glue these bad boys on. You can use a glue stick or a glue bottle, whichever you happen to have handy. And then we're going to flip it around and do the other side. And maybe your glue bottle is not working. Pardon me. Let me try this again. So we have our Naaman spots. We have our interrupting cat. Pardon me, I found my glue stick. And we're just going to glue these bad boys on. And then on the other side, we're going to continue the story. And this puppet's going to help us to tell the story because you can describe how, wow, this guy named Naaman, he was pretty rough. And then he went through this transformation because he followed God's instructions through the prophet Elisha, of course. So we flip him around, and now we get to draw the happy Naaman. So again, Google eyes, drawn eyes, whatever you prefer. And we're going to caption this. Well, we're going to finish drawing him first. And of course, the difference here is that he does not have his spots. The leper has lost his spots. Bump, bump. Here's his little beard. Even his beard is smiling. Check that out. And I guess I could give him a mustache as well as the beard, but you know. So we'll say, but he followed God's instructions and was healed. Hooray! You're, of course, welcome to write that on a separate paper and glue or tape it on somehow. And now we are simply going to give this Naaman a popsicle stick, which you can glue or tape on to attach. And now we have, it could be a mask to tell the story, or it could be a puppet to tell the story. Here's poor Naaman with leprosy. But after he bathes himself in the Jordan, he's clean! Ta-da! So, craft number 1, which again, variation on that, you can make it with a paper bag as well, or just with a piece of paper, whatever you've got handy. So, craft number 2, we're going to show Naaman going down into the river to pray. No, not to pray, to bathe. But he was probably praying also, I hope so. Anyways, we're going to start off by making ourselves a little Naaman puppet. Again, on a stick of large or small size, whatever you happen to need to use. So we're going to decorate 2 sides of this Naaman puppet. Again, kind of another puppet variation, but this time we're going to, so we're going to start off, you can draw the whole Naaman or you can just draw kind of part of his body. But we're going to have, we'll start with his face. And again, we'll have the sad side and the glad side. Here's his head. Here's the leprosy Naaman. And you don't have to necessarily draw his entire body. You can just kind of outline part of it because, well, you'll see why. But, wow, one hand is extremely longer than the other. We're just gonna put that down there. There we go. And so here's our sad leprosy-ridden Naaman. And if you want to add extra color, decoration, go for it. This time we'll just draw those dots on. And now we're going to cut him out. And on the other side, we'll draw the happy Naaman. And then you'll see what happens next. So like I said, there's going to be 2 ways that you can potentially do this. And the first one, but first we got to flip them over and draw the happy Naaman without the spots. Yay! He's been cleansed. Ta-da! All right, so here's our happy Naaman. Now, we're going to attach him to a popsicle stick and then stand by. So, our 2 ways that we're going to show this. We're going to have, number 1, we can do this with a cup. Handy dandy cup. Here we go. And we're going to put around that cup some water. We're going to pretend it's water anyway. You can decorate it with, you can use marker or crayons to color the cup, or I'm going to give it some waves this way. And you can wrap this around, or you can just kind of have it hanging off. Oops, sorry. Pardon me. You can have it hang off like this, or you can wrap it all the way around. And then we're going to pretend this is the Jordan River. And if you want to put some extra decorations on here, you're welcome to. We can put some crazy stickers just for funsies. And we can add our little caption. What are we talking about here? Well, here's what we're talking about. And cut another little piece of paper and say something to the tune of Naaman is healed. And we've got our reference here, so we know where to look for that. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to cut a slit in the bottom of your cup. And then here comes the fun part. So we'll cut our little slit in the bottom of the cup. Pokey, pokey, poke. Pokey, pokey, poke. There we go. And now we're going to have Naaman, and he's going to go up and down in the cup. So here's sad Naaman going down, down, down into the cup. And then we're going to just flip that around. And he comes out of the water. Happy Naaman! Sad, happy. Hooray! So real quick, before we go, one more way that you could demonstrate this one is you can use a piece of paper. This can be your water and your background. We're going to cut a little slit in the paper, and then we'll use that same puppet to go up and down in the water. I'm not going to get real elaborate with this because of timing purposes, but just kind of showing you the vague general idea. You could also have one water paper on top of another regular paper. That's another way of doing it, but we're going to have our little Naaman here. Naaman healed in the Jordan River. And of course you can add extra decorations surrounding this as well. We'll say trust and obey. And now, same kind of principle. We have our Naaman, and we tell the story. He's sad, he has leprosy. He goes down into the river. Guess you gotta watch out for those arms or this kind of thing. Bloop, bloop. And then, da-da-da, we flip him around, we poke him back through, and ta-da! Happy Naaman comes back up. So, you have your leprosy Naaman mask / puppet. You have your wandering cat. You have your Naaman in a cup or a paper transformation. Just some ideas to hopefully spark your creativity and get you rocking on some solid crafts for your ministry, wherever and with whomever it might be. Hopefully this does help you to tell this fun and engaging story with your kids. And stay tuned, because as always, we have new messages and crafts every week. So we hope you'll join us again to be encouraged and blessed. Now, go make some crafts, make some disciples, and we'll see you next time.